Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we have a very interesting topic that is appealing to immigrants who are professionals and are working in the US. Kama unajua that you work in the US and you are on an immigrant and in an immigrant visa, right? A visa that uh, has certain expiration dates to it, and it's a contract that is about to end or will be ending soon. I want to talk about some things that could point you to information that will help you to navigate immigration issues in the US with certainty. And these are tips that I have applied for myself. I'm still applying them. But I think one of the things we have to come to terms with is as we apply these things, it's important that we share this kind of information. Now, the question is when we share this kind of information, I've noticed that there is a lot of information such as this online. And many people find this kind of information on TikTok, on YouTube, such as this kind of videos. Now, while it's important that vloggers or bloggers like myself share guidance and information, it's really crucial to get educated and informed by the professionals handling these things. Now, if you have a problem, you have an issue, you're dealing with something, it's very important that you go to people who have studied or people who know something that they say about that issue. That's why when you're sick, you go to the doctor. When you want to be taught, you go to a teacher, right? When you have immigration issues, it's also equally important that you look for an immigration attorney. You look for a lawyer who can help you, especially in this country, the US. Otherwise, you find that it's easy to get misinformed. It's easy to get certain misapplications that really cause you a lot of pain, a lot of headache. It puts you in what I would call quagmire. Like you just become, uh, it ruins your peace of mind because you took an action while you could have consulted. Sometimes you listened to somebody, sometimes you had a conversation with someone and they advised you a certain way, or sometimes you said ikue ikue. That's a very local term that many people in Kenya use, like let it be, whatever shall be shall be. Other people just resolve to just like I'll just pray and wait through it. And I think it's important that we take certain responsibilities to get informed about these particular issues so that we don't fall by the wayside. So I'm going to share with you the certain ways to get access to immigration attorneys. It's very important to know that immigration attorneys aren't cheap in the US. They're quite pricey, they're quite expensive. I remember one of the attorneys that I have had the chance to work with charged me in the upwards of $5,000 for just a few things that they did for me. And that's just one thing that I was working on. This it can get very expensive. Let's just leave it at that. Now, because it can get very expensive, people think that there is no alternative or there is no otherwise. I'm here to tell you today that there are certain ways that you can get help without having to spend a lot of money. Now, ultimately, you are going to do quite some work. There is some work for you to do. You see, they want to do everything for you, but it's important to know these things and to take the action rather than just to wait and see, because a wait and see approach really doesn't ace it for many people. So, how do we go about this? I want to take you through a few things, affordable options that can help you to get access to immigration attorneys. Some of these options I have applied and I've used them, and they have been very helpful to me, not just on immigration issues, but even on other issues that I have had to deal with an attorney. Yes, actually, there are certain things that I've had to call and get guidance from an attorney on how to deal with certain things regarding rental issues, regarding certain issues to do with employment. So it's not just immigration. But today, I'm going to share with you ways to get access to affordable immigration attorneys who can help you further your case, who can help you get clarity on the things that you're dealing with. If you're excited, I am super excited to share this information with you, and I hope that if you have any question, you leave it in the comments so that we can get to have this conversation. And I know that I can create content that will help you based on what I know, based on the experiences I've gone through, and eventually we can grow together, right? So let's look at some of these affordable attorneys. One of the attorneys that we have, so we have low cost legal clinics. Now, at low-cost legal clinics, you'll find that many law schools or non-profit organizations offer low-cost immigration clinics. A clinic is really just having to listen to your case, then they will give you a feedback that handles or pertains to a part of your case that you're seeking help with. Now, these are often affordable. They could be free, and they could also include lawyers who have decided to offer pro bono services or even just legal students. Where do we get these clinics? So it's important to notice that online is very crucial. Like for online, there's just a lot of things when you know what you're looking for. So you can typically go and look for free and affordable legal services in, and then you enter the name of your state. If you simply do that, it's going to give you a list of services that and list of websites that actually offer those kind of leads. I'm going to give you some of them, and I'm going to include most of these links in the description section of this video. So just go ahead and click most of the links that they are verified links. So when I want to add a disclaimer that when you go and search free and affordable legal services in whichever state, so you say in New York State or in whichever state that you're dealing with, then it's going to give you a list of those legal services. It's important to verify because scammers also exist, right? So it's important to verify whether they are legit or not. Ways to verify is to look at About Us for them. And if you don't want to go through all that, I'm also going to share some of those verified links. I verified some of these links for you, and I'm going to share them in the description below. So just go and click at them and find out for yourself how to get access to these free and affordable legal services. Some of these legal services that we have is the American Bar Association, which is the ABA directory. And it really provides a directory of free or low-cost legal clinics across the United States. You're going to find students who are just practicing and they're willing to offer free services. You're going to find experienced attorneys. You're going to find those who are just beginning their practice and they just want to gain some experience. Now you might wonder, oh, but what will it? No, those are really important and incredible people who can give you some direction. Remember, you are taking direction, you're taking charge of your case, and these people are literally opening yourself to openings, to ways to look at your case from a clearer view. It's important when you work with this kind of people that you Google and research your case a little bit so that you can have questions to ask them and you can present your documents in a way that is clear. So the American Bar Association is one of the most important associations that covers the entire United States, right? And they have both from free to very affordable costs. There is another one called the Legal Services Corporation, the LSC, which is really federal funded. So it's funded by the US government. And because it's funded by the US government, this one actually has, for you to join it, you have to go through a lot of, if you're an attorney, right? If you're a lawyer, for you to join it, you have to go through some background checks. So it's one other place to find a lot of very good attorneys who are really low income, that target low income individuals. And again, their website is on the description below. I want to take you through one such ways using this particular site. So let's see. I'm going to just go right ahead here and I'm going to add this. So you can see I already searched the Legal Services Corporation. And when you search it on any Google search, it's going to come up. Remember, there's going to be other sources. Our focus right now is to look for the Legal Services Corporation. And it's right here. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And when I want to try and open it on the same page, open link in new window. No, open link. I want to just open it here. I don't know how that is done, but because otherwise I don't think you'll be able to see. So I'm going to go ahead and so when you open this LSC, it's going to ask you to enter the zip code, your location. And then when you enter your zip code location, what it's going to do is it's going to actually give you access to attorneys in your state. It's going to give you attorneys in your state who you can reach out to, right? So you're going to get to enter your legal address, and then when you enter you're going to enter your zip code. I'm sorry, you're going to enter your zip code, and then when you enter your zip code, from there you will get access to attorneys who are offering pro bono or very affordable services in your area. So that's a very important step to take. We have the Legal Services Corporation. Another tool is the National Legal Aid and Defender Association, which is the NLADA, which also provides a directory of legal aid programs, including low-cost clinics. Again, when you go there, it's very simple. Just scroll down to look for get legal help. Basically, you will always be looking for find legal help, because that's what you want to look for. Then they will ask you for your zip code because they want to match you with attorneys in your locality. They will also, some of them might want to verify if you're eligible for some of the services they offer. So those are things you must be willing to provide. When you check these particular sites that I'm sharing with you, these are verified websites by the federal government, or they are verified organizations. So you can feel free to share with them the details that they ask you. But when you find others on the online, it's important to really verify and know for yourself that this information, that these organizations are legit, because some people really just want to get access to your information, right? So beyond that, it's also good to check for non-profit organizations. And there are non-profit organizations that also offer affordable and free legal services. I want to share with you my story. One of the things that I did when I was in I'm still navigating my process, right? And one of the things that I did is I did earlier on is because it was really tough at that time. I had a couple of challenges, and I also didn't have enough money at that time. So I reached out to Catholic Charities. Catholic Charities is it offers low-cost legal services, including immigration and family law assistance, right? So it was really important. I booked an appointment with them via phone call. I gave them my details, and after they checked my eligibility, they booked me in for about 2 weeks. I did several others as well, and as those leads came in, I was literally resolving my issue, right? So there is the Catholic Charities that I'm also leaving a link for in the description below. There is the Legal Aid Society, Legal Aid, right? Legal Aid also offers free or low-cost legal services to low-income individuals in various states. So when you go again, you're going to enter your zip code, you're going to get to talk to somebody who will match you with an attorney who can serve you as you best see fit. There is another organization called the Jewish Family Services. The Jewish Family Services offers low-cost legal services, including family law and immigration assistance. Sometimes part of the eligibility that they will ask you is they will ask if it's an immigration issue. You want to always stick to it being an immigration issue, because if you say it's an employment-based issue, they will totally say no to you. So you'll say, oh, it's based on employment. No, it's immigration, because your employment is immigration-based. So if you say it's employment-based, it's a total you're not eligible to receive that service, because there are, again, legal attorneys in charge of that. So that's something for you to take note of. Another organization is the American Immigration Lawyers Association. This one also really helped me, and I'll tell you how I got to know of them. And they gave me access to like almost 5 attorneys who were charging like $35 to help me through the process, right? $35. Yes, seriously. They charged me $35 for the hour. So in 1 hour, I paid $35 and I got a lot of help. American Immigration Lawyers Association, AILA. The other organization is the National Immigration Law Center, NILC. And all these organizations offer legal services or referrals to affordable lawyers. They could either help you themselves, or they could refer you to a lawyer who will be affordable for you and who will help you. So make sure you check the links out, okay? And you're able to check them out. I can assure you, I did so many immigration attorneys because I really wanted information from professionals. And when I got information from one angle, I would also talk to another attorney about it. And I wasn't like saying, oh, so and so said this. I would research, I would talk to one person, I would talk to another person, and this way my clarity was clearer. I was able to really get what are some of my next steps. Before we go ahead, there are also other sources which are government resources. Now, did you know that you can actually go to most local courts, and many of these local courts, when you ask them, they could also offer you free or low cost legal clinics. When you go to a local court in your vicinity and you tell them that you have an issue and you'd like to be connected to a lawyer related to your issue, they will most likely give you access to people who are there to help you. So never be afraid. One thing I learned about the United States that I really, really appreciate is you can walk into a court and share your issue and they will find a way to help you. Remember, the most important thing is to navigate your case in a way that is helpful. It's important to follow the law. It's important to really stick to it and find ways to navigate the legal system, because otherwise you risk falling into a lot of headaches and heartaches that you don't want to be a part of. Another government resource is the State Bar Association. Many state bar associations offer low cost legal clinics or referral services that you can easily utilize. Again, the links are available in the description of this video, and I hope that you are able to check them for yourself and find out. Moving on, we also have law schools, and we have certain law schools, and actually, most law schools have their legal students who are practicing this kind of law help you. So these are people who really are reading, they are studying the law, and when you ask them some of these questions, they are able to give you some leads and ideas. What I like, and a caveat with them, is you must know that they are mostly students, right? So they don't have so much experience. So it's important to know that when you get information from them, you're able to verify and counter check this information with others. Remember, the goal here is to find what can further your case forward, right? So when you get these particular law school students, again, go to the universities. So you can just Google. So say Harvard Immigration, Harvard Law School. I'm giving an example, right? Or the law school at University at Albany. When you do that, you're going to navigate there and you can talk to the graduate department. You can also talk to the student advising and tell them, hey, I understand that you have the law school department and you have students there who are practicing, and I would like to get low cost or free legal services in exchange. Most of them will guide you from there. So it's just important to have that in mind as certain legal options to take as well. All right. So having known that, I want to also say that many of the law schools, if they can't help you, they will give you referral services, right? So they can offer referral services that can also really help you. Let's look at another source of affordable legal service. This is asking for pro bono services or free initial consultations. Now, this was one of my topmost resources. And, law firms and most lawyers always offer pro bono services, which means that they provide free or reduced fee services to those who cannot afford them. So when you call them or when you send an email, you can ask, hey, do you have an initial consultation, right? Or sometimes they actually offer these initial consultations. When you see that, jump into them, hop into them, and make sure you gather all your documents so that you actually get as much information as you can to further your case again. When you want to reach out to these people, it's important to always send them an email. I'll give you an example of one of the emails I used to send when I was reaching out to ask. So this is one of them. You can see here inquiry about pro bono or reduced fee legal services. Dear, then I would put the name of the law firm. I would research about them. Most likely they had some very good reviews on Google reviews or online. So I would put the name right there, right? And then I would say, I hope this email finds you well. reaching out to inquire whether your firm offers pro bono or reduced fee legal services for individuals with limited financial resources. If not, I would greatly appreciate any recommendations for organizations or firms that provide such assistance. I'm seeking legal support regarding, now indicate your issue. Make it very brief. If you're talking about work or whatever it is, immigration matter, put it right there, and any guidance you can offer would be invaluable. Right. So thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to your response. Then, best regards, put your name and your contact information. This kind of information is very important because what it does is it gives them something to work with. So most firms have those, they call them CSR, corporate social responsibilities, where they know that they have a certain percentage of their services that go to such people. So when you ask, they can easily consider you for that, or they can refer you to somebody who literally does that. The trick that I noticed, or the strategy, it's not a trick, it's a strategy. The strategy that I got is that when you send an email like that, wait for 1 or 2 days, okay? And then follow it with a call referring to that previous email. When you do this, it shows that you're serious, right? And it also shows that you're actually following up. So wait for 1 or 2 days, and then, hey, I sent an email about this. Could you please check? Most often, they will give you feedback. The worst it can be is, no, we don't. Sorry. And then that means you look for someone else. But then this works very well. They would mostly give you either pro bono services, or they would say, oh, don't worry, the first consultation is free. Now, I always prefer that I ask for the free consultation first, because most attorneys, knowing that you can't pay, will not give you a free consultation. They always give free consultation to people who they know would most likely pay. So it's important to not disclose that you can't pay upfront when you are asking for free consultations. I hope you get this. It's important that you don't disclose that you don't have the money when you're asking for free consultations. It's important that you, first of all, ask for the free consultations. And then if they don't have it, then you can ask for the pro bono or reduced fee services. Right? This actually was one of my best strategies to really get connected to very top level attorneys who really shed light into my case, and they gave me a lot of strategies to think through before I settled on an attorney. Sometimes, and most times, you're going to find that lawyers also have a sliding fee scale, or what we call payment plans, or offers that they give at certain periodic times. So some of these people offer this. A sliding fee is saying that for income earners who earn this, then they would pay this. Those who earn that, then they would pay this. So there is a kind of sliding fee scale that means that they adjust their fees based on your income. So this is really useful when you have settled on who you want to work with. But of course, it's also important to ask this kind of conversations upfront when you're looking to work with somebody. When you know that they have a sliding fee scale, or they have a payment plan, or maybe they have a special offer, then you know that you're cutting on costs, and you are also able to get professional services without breaking the bank. Always ask them for this kind of information, because it's very important that you do. Now, one place to find this kind of information that I found is TikTok. So most lawyers today are beginning to get into TikTok, especially in matters regarding immigration. So go to TikTok, and then when you get a lawyer that, just Google immigration issues regarding employment, or immigration issues regarding XYZ. Now, when you find a lawyer there, get to their page. They have a profile. They're gonna give you a link right there. You're going to see some of the offers that they have, and you're going to see some of the reviews that they have, and you get to meet people and get to chat with them live. Those kind of connections are very powerful, right? As I conclude, guys, there are a few special tips that I want you to always remember. Number one is, always get in charge of your case. Most affordable lawyers will give you specific parts to your case, but you have to handle the rest yourself. So you have to have a full view of what your case looks like, where it is, and where it's going. And that way you're able to actually research, carry all the documents. That way you're building that case personally. These lawyers are helping you build it. And then one legal attorney gives you some feedback that builds onto another one, that builds onto another one, but you are taking the action yourself. It's your personal responsibility. And connected to this, always be prepared. Gather all the relevant document, guys. Gather all the information before you have a clinical call. Most clinical calls will be a 40 minutes clinical call. It could be a 1 hour clinical call. You have to have all the information, um, all your legal papers. You don't have to send them upfront if they ask for it, unless they ask for them. But you want to be able to be saying, oh, okay, I have this. This one says this. I have that. That one. You don't want to say, let me go and come back tomorrow, because it's an opportunity for 1 hour consultation. Always have all your documents and information ready. Another thing is when you find that there's an attorney who is really sinking to your vibe. And singing to your vibe means that they are offering you the information that you need, and you can see they're generous with the information, and they are guiding you in a way that you sense it's appropriate. Make sure you follow up on their recommendations, follow up on the next steps, and make sure that you are actually taking these steps progressively with them. Remember, special tip number 2, it's okay to build your case by approaching several attorneys. Now, it's not just talking to one attorney and saying, I've talked to it and that's enough. No, talk to several attorneys over a period of time. This is like a puzzle, guys. The lawyers will always be giving you some piece of information that you use to piece the puzzle together as you move to the next one gradually until you get your best solution to move forward. Again, avoid having so many information that prevents you from taking action, but it's just important that you are moving forward with these different attorneys. One of the things I found very interesting is that, say, your visa is getting terminated. Now, the question for that would be, the 1 hour consultation or the 40 minutes consultation would be, what do I do? What are the legal options? I've researched on this and this and these options. I saw this means this, that means that, that means that. What is your legal opinion? Now, the lawyer will give you what they think, and then you will use that to build your next step. And then you're going to realize, okay, now I'm taking this next step, but there is this question. But I have finished with this lawyer, right? Now you can choose to hire this lawyer if you have the money, or you can choose to look for another consultation from another lawyer. When you get that, then you have that particular conversation going. Eventually, guys, it's going to be important that you're going to land on a lawyer who is affordable and able to take care of your case. But before you do that, just keep taking quick actions, keep moving forward, because it's better to have educated and informed decisions than just act on ignorance and make mistakes. Remember, when you're doing this, to always research and verify the credentials of any legal clinic or organization before seeking their services. A special tip number 3 is filter the noise from legit information. What do I mean? People, including some attorneys, will be peddling fear based information over the internet to get you to act, to get you to feel a certain way so that your emotions are jingled and now you're in a hazy and then you're going to take certain actions. Guys, filter the noise from legit information. This kind of fear based information is just the way the world is. You cannot change that. Now you're gonna make peace with that there's going to be fear driven, maybe, new administration comes in, Trump is coming in, ICE is moving around. Guys, as long as you have your integrity in check, as long as you know that your integrity is in check and you're doing the right thing, you don't need to be afraid. Fear may come. I'm not saying no. But even though fear comes, you want to just be able to speak confidently to the fear. Okay? So do not be afraid. I love this biblical verse that says, do not be afraid, for I am with you. God says he is with you. So don't get the fear inside of you. Instead, choose to make sober choices and sober decisions every step of the way. I can remember that one of the things that I said to myself was, I'm not going to be afraid of the outcome of whatever circumstances. I'm going to just focus on what's my next step. And that is the reason why my YouTube channel is called What's My Next Step, right? So, in whatever it is, building my family, issues to do with my faith, generating income, it's always been what's my next step. Because ultimately, there's going to be all this fear based information, there's going to be all this whatever needs to be done. They will always be there. But what's important is my next step. All right. So keep moving on. And as you do that, something to remember, keep your cases private. Don't talk about it with your friends. Don't talk about it with everyone. Keep it private because every case is different. Your scenario is different from mine, it's different from everyone else. I think it's just not professional. It's just not right to just talk about certain things that you are dealing with. So I like to talk about my personal healing journey because there was a time when I was really in depression. But I'm able to talk about it because I sense that I have grown over it. There are certain things I have overcome there that are not very, like, I no longer hold on to them. So I'm able to share them authentically and openly. Now, if you are still navigating certain areas of your life and they are really particularly sensitive, such as immigration issues, please keep it private, keep it to yourself. Remember, every case is different, and yours particularly is different to you and unique to you. The last special tip, number 4, is sometimes your immigration issues could be employer related, meaning that it's an employer related issue. For the most part, that's going to be it. Now, do not opt, do not, in capital letters, do not choose or opt for the same attorneys as your employers. Do not opt for the same attorneys as your employers. Why? Because these are attorneys who are after your employer's interests. They will handle your employer's interests first. Now, some people ask me, oh, why don't you use attorneys for the organization where you work for? No, it's not a wise move because their first priority is their number one client who pays them first. It's really also a conflict of interest, right? So you want that you choose like alternative attorneys who are not also related to your employer. Most often, also the attorneys who are related to your employer, some of them might appear cheap, but some of them are also a bit more expensive. When before I discovered this, I remember being asked to pay 3,500 for filing some papers. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money. I couldn't pay, right? And I honestly told them, I'm sorry, I cannot be able to pay, and I would like to opt out of this. So it was very. It doesn't mean I opted out of. I just for myself. I opted out of them representing me, and I said I'm gonna look for somebody else to represent me. Now it's not like they don't do the things for me, but I told them to consult me first because I don't want you to misunderstand me. Consult me first before you take an action that's going to need me to pay you. That was it. So really, when you have another eye looking into this case, so if it is free, I'm okay. If it is free, you're going to do it for me and there's no pay, it's going to be from the employer, I'm fine. But if it's going to need me to pay and I need to know what's the action being taken and what are the potential consequences and can I get it somewhere cheaper? It doesn't have to be always cheaper, but it also depends on where you are financially, really. So, plus, when you work with somebody else, another legal attorney, they can always give you a second opinion that you can use to work with the attorneys representing your employer to also give them some ideas through your employer, of course. So, guys, remember in conclusion that navigating immigration issues can be very complex, they can be very challenging. While it's very essential to seek professional advice from immigration lawyers, I understand that cost can be a big barrier. However, As I have shared with you here, there are some affordable options available, including low-cost clinics or even pro bono services, those who are offering free consultations or even a sliding fee scales, or non-profit organizations like Catholic Charities who really came through for me, and they helped me so much when I needed some issues way earlier. So I really am grateful that these organizations exist, and I hope that they can help you too. Remember that investing in professional advice can save you time, it can save you money, it can save you a lot of stress in the long run. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Please stay strong, make sure you check the links, keep praying, stay safe, take care.